whatever.
Ali also playing.
Yeah, also playing Junk Reanimator. We actually did his deck earlier in the day when he had a feature match. But he is playing again Junk Reanimator. He has a couple main deck Garrick Relentless, a couple main deck Loxodon Smiter. No Lingering Souls, no Fiend Hunters in the main. He's opting to play one Sylvan Primordial over the traditional third Angel of Serenity, which is a little out of place. A bunch of Acidic Slimes, a bunch of Thrag Tusk, and all 8 mana Dorks.
What do you think of that Sylvan Primordial? Do you like it or do you hate it?
I hate it, man. I mean, Acidic Slime's enough. You know, if you're using your 7-drop creature to kill a land, something's wrong. You know. So.
Note that Ali, in fact, has all 4 slimes in the main. It looks
apparently Josh is mulliganing to 5 here, so that's if I had to pick a deck in Standard to mulligan to 5 and still have a chance to win, it would definitely be Junk Reanimator.
Yeah, I don't know if you were aware, but Chris Van Meter actually mulliganed to 4 in the semifinals of Somerset and won.
Wow!
Playing against Max Tietz's Jund deck.
All right, well, that's
Josh will
fortunate because Josh is also going to 4. Hopefully get some mulches and actually hit on land and then just make up for the mulligan instantaneously.
Yeah, the disadvantage, of course, being in this matchup, unlike the Jund matchup, is all about attrition. That deck tries to just trade 1 for 1 and then trump you with a big threat.
Right.
Whereas the Junk Reanimator deck can actually do a lot of 2-for-1s thanks to Acidic Slime, keeping you off your mana. That's exactly what Ali's going to hope to do, just play a turn 3 or 4 slime and then just do that over and over.
Yeah, this could be a game where you actually see Sylvan Primordial and it's going to kill a land and it's going to look flashy because it's killing a land against the guy who mulled before, and it's going to make Ollie look like a genius. Well, he's a pretty smart guy, but
he's got glasses, you can tell.
Yeah, I know.
I think that the Sylvan Primordial obviously is a factor as an additional land destruction spell, but I wouldn't say it's a major.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather have another Angel of Serenity. Like 2 seems like a very low number. I very regularly alternate between 3 and 4, so.
Sure. It's a powerful card.
Right, so Ollie looks like he's going to mulch here. This is really what Josh is hoping to do next turn. Hits 2 lands, which is nice, but no Unbear and no good targets in the yard, so. Alright, and coming to play tap land for sure.
Yep, the Temple Garden that he revealed. Keeping the rest of his hand close to the vest.
Yep. Doesn't want to give away, too much information. Like, could easily just play the Overgrown Tomb in his hand, but would rather not, let Josh know that he has that extra land in hand. Not entirely relevant in this particular situation.
Yep. He's just exploded.
Yep.
Arbor Elf, absence.
He should have taken... Oh, no, he didn't take 2 damage. He actually played his land tapped and used the Arbor Elf, right? So,
yep.
Staying at 18. All right, well, kind of an explosive start, except he doesn't have anything in hand to follow it up with. It's unfortunate for mulligan to 4, I suppose.
You could very easily draw something like an Acidic Slime to
that would be pretty sweet here, actually.
Put him back in gear. He has 3 copies of that in his main deck. Doesn't look like he pulled it off though. Cavern of Souls. I assume it'll name Angel. That's traditionally what it names in this particular matchup.
Yeah, especially you want to make sure you're able to cast Angel of Serenity, and I mean, there's no counter spells going on in this matchup, and Angel of Serenity is the hardest card to cast for you. I mean, Obsidian, he has the 1 of, but he has access to double black because of the Overgrown Tomb as well as the Arbor Elf, so.
Yeah.
Ollie decides to flash in a Restoration Angel just to get some beats in, hopefully try to put the game away with a flyer before Josh is able to get going.
One of the things that we discussed in the last match is how when one player mulligans a bunch, the dynamic of the game can change. Traditionally, it becomes a little more aggressive because that's the only way you can actually, take away the disadvantage of starting off with so few cards. Is you have to close the game out before those cards start to bury you.
Yeah, like something like a Gavany Township here would be really insane for Josh, but instead he's opting for the Cavern of Souls main deck, as you can see, the 1 in play, which is what BBD and Chris Van Meter did at the Open last weekend. Pretty good Grizzly salvage here. He's going to get the Unbear Rights in the yard for later use. Probably take the Restoration Angel here just to have a good blocker for the opposing one. Not a lot of value going on, but he could easily peel, not cast it and then peel an Acidic Slime or Thrag Tusk and actually get some value and hopefully recoup from the disadvantage.
Looks like he's going to take a land.
Actually, he might just have Angel Serenity as his last card.
Angel Serenity is his last card.
Oh no, it's Unbear Rights, but I don't know. I would rather have just I guess maybe he just wants to have 7 mana, so if he peels Angel Serenity, it'll be at the ready.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad play. He does have the excess Unbear Rights, nothing else in the yard to target, really. might as well get the land to make sure
Yeah.
you can cast your big spell if you draw it.
It feels not very likely he's going to cast Unbearable Rights 3 times in this match,
Right.
so going ahead and burning one now when he would have spent the turn casting an Angel seems
Yeah,
fine.
but see, this is going to be really problematic for him because Angel of Serenity that Ollie milled over last turn, he's going to be able to hit the Restoration Angel so he doesn't have Flying Blocker, and to his managed creatures.
2 Arbor Elves.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be unhappy if he took just the 3 mana guys
Yeah,
to make
me
sure
neither.
that Josh could never cast an Angel of Serenity, since Restoration Angel is basically just bouncing off the other Restoration Angels, not threatening. But he's trying to close the game as quickly as possible, which
Yeah.
is understandable.
It looks like Ali's considering that line right now, actually. He's saying, man, maybe I take the other elf too.
Yeah.
The only really important distinction is that if he does take the Restoration Angel, Josh is dead in 2 hits.
Well, he's going to
Or
11.
sorry, I should say it's 3 turns.
Right.
He's going to be going to 11 here. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to attack with the elf too, put him down to 11.
The difference is that Josh would stay at 15 this turn if he left the Restoration Angel in play.
Yeah, I mean the clock is obviously much slower, so maybe he's giving him fewer turns to actually draw into his better spells at this point. So, Josh here desperately hoping for a Grizzly Salvage or a Mulch, hopefully get something going. Reanimating the elf, not exactly what you want, but
I think he might have drawn another Unburial Rights.
yeah, I mean he's basically just trying to recoup his mana, so if he does draw Serenity, he has a chance.
Yep.
This kind of a desperation mode. Ollie's sitting pretty with 9 lands in hand from all the mulches, but not a whole lot of gas, it looks like. I think he has a Luxon Smiter in the art, which he could put into play here with the Unbearable Rights. Looks like that's what he's going to go ahead and do. I think he just has 6 lands in hand. So
Yeah.
passes the turn.
Passes the turn.
It's pretty interesting. I think at this point you would want to try to progress your board as much as possible. This Grizzly Salvage could change the game. And a
big brick.
big sad Grizzly
That's it.
Salvage.
He did have an Unburial Rights in his hand
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so that was kind of interesting how he mulled the 4, had a chance to hit an Angel of Serenity there, and just be
Yeah.
right back in the game.
If he had Angel of Serenity that turn, it definitely would have been, I don't want to say anyone's game, but he would have been ahead for sure, and that would have put Ali in the position to actually draw out.
Yeah, I mean, he has a million turns, but, that definitely swings things in Josh's favor, and very impressive for a mulligan to 4. And it's actually important to note, I think, is that the Unburial Rights on the mana guy last turn allowed him to be able to draw a Grizzly Salvage or a Mulch and potentially hit an Angel of Serenity, which would allow him to Unburial Rights at that turn, whereas if, you would have saved your Unburial Rights for something better, which never was going to come, you would have strangled yourself on mana and not been able to do 2 things in 1 turn. So.
Yeah, as we in fact correctly predicted, it doesn't feel like Unburial Rights is going to get cast 3 times in that game.
Right.
So yeah, it definitely wound up mattering.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about sideboarding. I
Yeah,
suppose.
sure. We've got you've probably played a little bit more of this than I have.
Yeah,
given that
but
I
can't read this guy's deck list though, so I don't know what's
Oh,
going
well,
on.
I'll read
over
it
there.
to you. Let's see. He's got a 2nd Tristani in his sideboard.
Okay.
A 4th Thragtusk. We know that's not coming in. 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Deathrite Shaman, 2 Voice of Resurgence. All right, you got me. I don't know what that is. 1 Sin
That
Collector.
looks like Gattaca.
1 Acidic
Gattaca.
Slime. 2 Garruk Relentless, and 2 Sever the Bloodline.
Okay, so it's again pretty close to the list last week with a few small tweaks. Ollie Aintrazi has 2 Ray of Revelation, 2 Sever the Bloodline, 2 Obzidot Ghost Council, 2 Abrupt Decays, 4 Voice of Resurgence, another Garruk Relentless to go along with this 2 in the main deck, and 2 Deathrite Shamans. I assume that the only cards coming in this matchup are 2 Deathrite Shaman, 1 Garruk Relentless, 2 Sever the Bloodline, and maybe 2 Abrupt Decay, just depending on whether or not he wants to focus on killing the mana creatures. But I can see it going either way. I'm not really sure what to take out. This maybe Luxon Smiter. Thragtusk is pretty mediocre in this matchup.
Yeah, I would definitely start with taking out those 5.
Yeah.
They seem pretty poor.
Yeah, I would probably leave the Abrupt Decay on the sideline, just bring in Sever, Garruk, and Deathrite Shaman. Sure. Although, what I was talking about earlier, which I think is actually true, is I think that Deathrite Shaman is actively worse in the Junk Raider matchups than just a mana creature. Like it can shut down the Unburial Rights plan, which, the turn 4 Angel of Serenity happens, 1 in like, maybe 7 or 8 games or less.
Right.
I don't actually know how often it happens. But just not having a mana creature in the early parts of the game is devastating. Or if you don't have enough and your opponent's able to like kill 1 or 2 of them and slow you down enough so that their acidic slimes actually like start to be relevant. Like that's the point where the Junk Reanimator matchup really starts to swing in one person's favor.
I honestly, there's one card in Josh's deck. I don't know exactly what it is. I kind of think it's Paraceline. That's what it looks closest to.
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
It's the one of, it looks like Calabolest.
Calabolest. Well,
one Calabolest.
the card I suggested.
No, it's Sin
is a
Collector.
card.
Sorry, S-I-N.
No,
Collector.
this one I know. The one above it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm giving up on it. Maybe we'll see a spicy one and we'll be like, oh, it's that one.
We're off it. We're done.
Yeah.
Not interested.
I'm done with this one. So a lot of the same cards coming in from both sides.
Yeah.
Sever the Bloodlines, Deathrite Shamans, and probably Garrick's. So, you know, not an exact mirror match. We have some differences on both sides. But, you know, we should see two very similar junk decks battling it out.
Yeah, Ali seems a little bit more mainboarded for the mirror, I would guess. Obviously, he has those Smiters, which we don't think are great, but he is packing main decked 2 Garrick Relentless.
Yep, and he
Josh
does have
is siding those in.
Josh only has 2 though, and after board, Ollie has access to 3. So he does have a slight advantage on the Garricks, able to draw them a little more often. You know, he's okay to legendary rule, especially if his comes down first, because you know he can draw a follow-up one much more easily.
Yeah. And also, of course, Ali has the 4th Slime already main deck that we discussed, and I guess Sylvan Primordial. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's better than a 3rd Angel though. So
I think that White Primordial would be better in this deck than Green Primordial. I mean,
that's interesting.
If all you're trying to do is blow up your opponent's lands, then sure. But 4 Acidic Slime already seems like a lot, and having like a 5th one instead of Angel Serenity just seems kind of outrageous. But the cool thing about the White Primordial is that it's not as good as Angel Serenity, so I don't know why you would play it over that either. So, but you know, the deck seems sweet. You know, he just wanted to kill a bunch of lands. Can't fault him.
Josh has a mana-heavy hand here, but it looks like he's lacking an Accelerant, so he's going to throw it back.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad
He's got
idea.
an Arbor, a Grizzly Salvage, some lands. What more could a boy want, right?
Restoration Angel. I think he has.
Salvage,
he has like 3 land Angel, double Grizzly Salvage, I believe. Might have missed 1 card in there, but
the Arbor.
Yeah. Mana Accelerator into Grizzly Salvage, not bad. Not a bad start, especially on the draw. Because if Josh doesn't open with a Mana Accelerator, having the 1 drop from Ollie's side completely negates the fact that he's on the draw.
Yep.
And he can very easily, you know, jump ahead of Josh, especially if he like hits an Acidic Slime or something off of the Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah, one of the few ways to equalize those disadvantages are Fiend Hunter and Garrick. And as we already discussed, Josh is a little light on both. He only has 1 Fiend Hunter and only 2 Garrick. Ali has no Fiend Hunter but has the 3rd Garrick.
Yeah. It's going to be a little awkward to see a Fiend Hunter get blasted by a Garrick Relentless.
Always is.
Dude, I played a lot of Block Constructed for, you know, Avacyn Restored and Innistrad, and we tested a lot up at the store, and we had these Naya decks like battling against each other, and Garrick Relentless was just the stones because everyone had Fiend Hunter. Alright, so we got a Mana Guy into a Mulch, which is a pretty sweet start for Josh.
Yeah, not so great. He had a Cavern of Souls, but he did bin an Acidic Slime and a Resto Angel.
Yeah, but he does have a Mana Guy and Unbear Rights in hand. So now next turn, if he has a black source, he can cast Unbear Rights on Acidic Slime, get all his land, and then hopefully continually hit a land every turn with the Unbear Rights on the Angel of or Restoration Angel the next turn, and you know, just keep the momentum going from there. But if I'm not mistaken, his only other land he has a Cavern of Souls. So it should be interesting to see if he hits or not.
Yeah, he's going to need a black mana. Ali hits big with 2 Unburial Rights and an Acidic Slime. In a couple turns, he'll be able to threaten that exact same plan against Josh, the difference being that he already has the mana he needs with a Temple Garden in his hand. So he's not trying to hit, he's just trying to get ahead. And he's probably going to take that Deathrite Shaman and play an untapped land this turn, probably, right?
Yeah, I think he's actually contemplating whether to play the Overgrown Tomb or the Temple Garden, and I think he should definitely play the Overgrown Tomb. If I'm pretty sure that's the other land in his hand, but the Temple Garden has the potential to get destroyed by Acidic Slime. I'm not sure if he had a different option here, though.
He may not have.
Come on,
Looking, I think it's a Cavern of Souls.
Okay, so he has a Cavern of Souls, a Green Primordial, a Restoration Angel, a Grizzly Salvage, and a Mystery card.
Looks like an Arbor Elf, another one?
Well, I would have just played that.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe he decided to play the Deathrite Shaman just to prevent Unbearable Rights flashback sequence. He's okay with getting rights once. He just doesn't want to get rights twice.
That's
Josh
fine.
misses that black
Misses
mana.
the black source, and this, I think, is going to be his downfall.
Yeah, that's going to swing the entire game around. He can still hit the black source to continue on his plan next turn, as he's a mana ahead.
Right.
But Ali will already have the jump on him.
All right, so Cavern on Angel, probably from both sides.
Yep.
I know that Josh is for sure on Angel. Here comes Acidic Slime off of Unbearable Rights. Going to take out one of the lands from Josh, probably Temple Garden, to make sure that Woodland Cemetery is coming up like tapped.
It also turns off that Arbor Elf.
That's true. It also turns off Isolated Chapel as well. So, all right, so Ollie looking pretty solid this game. He's going to exile the land. Ooh, nice play.
Yep.
He's going to exile the land he just destroyed and play a mana accelerator. So, you know, progressing his board, he's going to add a mana guy and be able to cast a big spell next turn, hopefully. So, he's got that Primordial in hand. It's going to make me look bad.
Yeah, he's
got
able
reach,
to cast
man.
it next turn if he has a land and Josh has nothing.
No, there's not a land in the yard
Right.
for the Deathrite Shaman. He's
Oh,
only
is
got
there?
2 actual mana. No, there's not. So.
Oh, no, there's not. Oh, you're right.
He
my bad.
just hit the one to play the
Good call.
mana guy. So, not quite this turn, but maybe next turn. We'll see.
He's got high
High
hopes.
hopes.
Note that, as you predicted, if he had played the Mana Accelerator instead of the Deathrite Shaman, he would actually have that availability.
Well, you know, live and learn. So he has a Restoration Angel here, which he's definitely going to use to blow up another land, and you know, by blinking the Acidic Slime.
Yep.
And he still has access to both halves of Deathrite Shaman with the Arbor Elf activation to untap the Overgrown Tomb. And he also has another mana guy in hand, which he's contemplating playing, which he probably should, since actually no, there's not that much fear of an Unbear Rights on the Restoration Angel.
Looks
I
like
guess
he's gonna cast 2 mana guys. Wow.
All right, well, looks like old Sylvan Primordial's coming to dinner next turn. Gonna sit down at your table and eat all your fried chicken.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is one way to describe what Sylvan Primordial does. In fact, I think now that you've said it, it's got to be the only way, right? Like,
I mean, I can only think of 1,000 other ways he could he could come over to your house and ruin your party. So, dude, you had a punch bowl. He just drank it all. What a jerk.
oh yeah.
This is so good.
Ali is probably not going to have to think for very long as to what to do this turn. It's probably going to be cast Sylvan Primordial.
Yeah, this is good. So earlier I said #game. I think it's appropriate at this point.
It's certainly a reasonable offering. Note that he has Acidic Slime in his hand, a cheaper alternative. But he's going to go with Big Daddy.
Yeah. Well,
Josh is like, yeah, I'm done here, whatever.
So with that win, I think that probably locks Ollie into top 8. The X11 seems like a pretty safe bet at this point, especially if he was at table 2.
He's likely able to draw now, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, if he makes it, congratulations to Ollie. If he has a battle next round, good luck. Unfortunately for Josh, he can still you know, make some money